So I want to wish you a wonderful start to July. And something that I've added to my list now is actually just doing these short videos. I do videos where they're a little bit more directed, but I wanted to do something that was very real, and just share with you kind of just my personal experiences, because that's what I found helps so much is when you actually hear what somebody does or what somebody goes through each day, and it makes it a little bit easier. And sometimes we pick up tools that way. And yesterday, I know I talked about like a daily routine and the importance at least it has for me. And it's not just a daily routine, but monthly routines and weekly routines. I think it's really tremendously helped me out a lot. The Every Sunday is my meeting day. So if you're a recovering addict like me, you probably know what that means. And I'm not huge on preaching about going into any kind of programs, anything like that, because we're all a little bit different. And I think when you feel that it's one of those forced environments, that it does shy people away a little bit. But for me personally, it works. It's nice to know, that I'm not alone. I do those reach out videos. I do them every day, and I talk to people every day, going through different things. Whether it's yesterday, I talked to somebody over on the East Coast going through the struggles of sobriety, and this is my way of kind of getting myself support, because I'm around people just like me, and I can relate to them in so many ways. And it's about finding that, it's kind of like panning for gold. It's finding that little nugget and using that in our lives to at least try it out, because so much of it's trial and error. We're all different, and what works for me might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for me. But you know what? I might as well give it a try, because I don't know. Everything I've learned, I've found from somebody else, or I've tried a bunch of different ways, and all of a sudden went, wow, this works. Let me implement this into my life. Just like these videos here, this is something now all of a sudden that's brought me an added joy, and I'm like, hey, gonna start doing this every day. And it's great to be able to share that with everyone, because I am very big in suicide awareness, with the loss of my dad and loss of my wife. And it really, sobriety also plays a huge part in my life too. And we're not all addicts, but man, if you're an addict out there, I totally get the daily struggles, because it is. We look at things so much differently. And even though we may not know each other, we have this common bond that is unreal, unlike anything else. We could sit and talk and all of a sudden instantly have a connection because of how strong that bond is. And so if you're going through those struggles in it, it's so important to break those routines, and it's so important to start forming a life pattern that avoids those triggers, because we all have triggers in life. I mean, I hit a few triggers personally yesterday that, man, when they hit you, you have to slow it down. You have to realize. That's where I think a journal is a great part. I mean, I journal a lot, and it might only be a one-liner. It could be a story. But it's how we deal with the emotions that start hitting us. We all have them throughout the day. Being ADD makes it a little bit more challenging, I feel, at times, because some points I can be super excited, and other points I can be directed focused somewhere else. And it helps center you of just getting those thoughts out, so that they don't kind of take control of your brain, and you start going down those paths that you don't want to go down. I mean, I'm very obsessive when it comes to, drinking, for example. So, start forming, weekly and monthly routines. Each day gives you something to look forward to that week. And it just kind of helps keep you accountable, because keeping accountable to everything in life helps, at least I found, erase the depression, erase anxiety. Maybe not erase it, but ease it a lot, and makes everything a little bit easier, because we know what to expect. There aren't the surprises. And don't get me wrong, it's birthdays are great surprises, but when a wave of emotion hits you, sometimes it's not a great surprise. So I totally get it. But if you have some morning routines out there, you have some weekly routines out there, I'd love for you to share them with me on our YouTube channel, or share them with me here on Facebook or on Twitter, because it's so important to share and help out others. And you know what? If we found something that works, let's share it with each other. Who knows? It might work for somebody else, and that's the whole joy of it. So I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. It's July 1st, so make the most out of the month. And for you guys that are out there getting the day started, let's do this.